What's up, you guys? This is Obobboo the Bibilou Storytime. Welcome to my library. There's actually not really any books in here, but I just want to tell a quick story. So, I'm 49 years old. I had a grandfather named Richard, and he was born in 1911. And he lived through like Pearl Harbor and all the wars and stuff back then. He's not with us anymore. He didn't like Japanese people because of Pearl Harbor. Now, before I go further, let me say I do like Japanese people. And from early childhood, I've liked Toyota trucks. My favorite motorcycles are Kawasaki motorcycles. That's all I want to ride. Those are Japanese. My biggest dream guitar company to be professional with is ESP Guitars, which is Japanese. I'm not racist. I like Japanese people. I want to go to Japan when I get married, and I want my wife and I to go to Japan. I want to go check it out. I want to meet Japanese people. I want to go to Japan. I want to go there. I'm not racist, okay? But here's the story. So I was a little kid, and I would go to my grandparents' house. I'd go to Grandpa's house. I remember one time I had like a McDonald's Coke. This is when I was little, man. And I was done with it, and I said, Grandpa, what do you want me to do with this? He said, leave it on the curb for the Japs. Back then, back in California when I was a little kid in the 80s, Japanese people had like little small lawn care companies and stuff, A lot of the gardeners you'd see that mow lawns and stuff, there were Japanese people on them. But my grandpa didn't like Japanese, so here's the story. Like I said, Grandpa, what do you want me to do with this Coke? He said, leave it on the curb for the Japs. I thought it was funny at the time. I was just a little kid, man. And then I remember one time Grandpa had me mowing his grass myself, and I must not have done it well enough in his mind. I left like some grass tracks on the sidewalk or something. He said, Chris, you'll never be a Jap. Well, Grandpa was wrong, man. He died when I was 14. And like I said, I love Toyota trucks, I love Kawasaki motorcycles, I love ESP guitars, and I have my Ibanez guitars too, which are also Japanese. I love my Ibanez's too. But I really love ESP guitars, which are Japanese. So this must have been, my grandpa died when I was 14. Back in 2020, I was living in these apartments, and I had some friends there, and I was just starting to play bass after not playing for many years, and I had just bought my first ever ESP guitar, ESP bass guitar. It was an F404 FM. And I could hear Grandpa in the spirit, and he said, Chris, sometimes you got to be a Jap before you can be an enterprise. So as time goes on, and I started writing riffs, and I finally had some songs, looks like Grandpa was right. I'm starting to turn it into an enterprise, part of Liquid Death Corporation, even though I'm not getting paid yet. And I have a bunch of ESP bass guitars now. I have some more, and so it's weird that my grandfather said, Chris, you'll never be a Jap. Well, he was wrong, man. I'm gonna play ESP guitars professionally. I love my Toyota trucks. I love my Kawasaki motorcycles. And then, once he had died, I heard him in the spirit realm, and he said, Chris, sometimes you got to be a Jap before you can be an enterprise. And look, there's my ESP fretless bass sitting back there. I guess I am Japanese, Grandpa. You were wrong. I'm Japanese.